apartment, scrolling through TikToks, maybe planning my next snack attack, when my phone lights up with my mom's name. And immediately, heart drops, stomach does that weird gymnastic flip, brain screaming, oh no, somebody's dying or divorced or something catastrophic. My mom is basically a 10 p.m. bedtime cultist. If she's calling after 9, something is seriously up. I answer, trembling like I'm about to witness a horror movie plot twist in real life, and she goes, in this eerie, calm but wildly strange tone. Hi, sweetie. Are you alone right now? My brain is like, yeah, my roommate's out visiting her boyfriend. She takes a deep breath. Good. I need you to just listen. Don't interrupt. Don't react. Just, listen. Cue full-on flashbacks of childhood punishment. I grab my fuzzy blanket, curl into a human burrito on the couch, ready for whatever nightmare is about to drop. And then, she starts talking about Elizabeth. Okay, quick context, Elizabeth is my mom's sister. I have literally never met her. Not once. Not at family BBQs, not at Christmas, not even in awkward Zoom calls. She's like the ghost aunt. The one that occasionally shows up in whispered stories, usually when my mom has had too much wine and starts crying over old photos, and my dad immediately does the mental hard reset and changes the topic. Apparently, Mom and Elizabeth were inseparable kids. Shared a bedroom, braided hair, passed notes about cute boys, the whole cinematic sisterly shtick. But then, in their early 20s, Elizabeth meets Tom. Cue ominous music. Mom says Tom was trouble. That's literally all she'll say. Cryptic AF. Elizabeth changes overnight. Stops calling. Misses family events. When she does show up, she's getting into screaming matches with my grandparents. Things get so messy she disappears for 6 months straight. No calls. No letters. The 8s were brutal, no smartphones, no text bombs, no TikTok to explain herself. And here's where I start wondering, why, at midnight, am I being force-fed this ancient drama like it's the new Netflix true crime series? Then my mom drops it. Elizabeth showed up at her apartment one night, sobbing, pregnant, abandoned by Tom. Mom takes her in, supports her through pregnancy, is there for the delivery. I am, at this point, frozen on my couch, blanket burrito fully activated, brain screaming, what is happening? Post-birth, Elizabeth is a mess. Mom becomes baby caretaker, full-time job juggling, life-saving sidekick extraordinaire. 3 months in, Elizabeth suddenly bounces back, claims a fresh start in California with the baby. Mom suspicious but supportive, helps her pack, buys her a bus ticket, gives her cash. Classic. Then the note. The last night. Just a note on the kitchen table. I can't do this. She deserves better. Please forgive me someday. Mom panics, calls police. Technically, Elizabeth hasn't done anything illegal. But Mom becomes the baby's legal guardian while they search for Elizabeth. Weeks turn into months. Mom falls in love with the little girl. When Elizabeth is finally found, she signs away parental rights. Mom adopts the baby. Promises to keep the truth a secret until the kid is old enough to understand. And I'm sitting there like a skeleton in my hoodie, trembling, phone halfway dropped. Then she whispers. Sweetie, that baby, was you. Wait. What? Cue existential meltdown. My mom. Not my biological mom. She's my aunt. The mysterious, never met Elizabeth. My real mom. And apparently she abandoned me. Mom cries. Tells me she wanted to tell me for years. Couldn't find the right time. Elizabeth reached out recently, trying to reconnect. Mom felt I deserved to know the truth first. I hang up. Don't say goodbye. Haven't talked to Elizabeth yet. Update 1. Yeah. I know. Chaos. Absolute chaos. I didn't magically morph into a Zen monk after that call. I sat on the couch, hoodie cocooned, doom scrolling Instagram reels like therapy. Spoiler, did not help. Slept 2 hours, Max woke up tasting despair, coffee couldn't save me, stared at the fridge like it owed me answers. Texted my roommate Megan, hope you're having fun. Don't worry about the cat. All good here. Lie of the century. I was on autopilot for 3 days. Grocery shopping. Fine. Work. Fine. Mentally replaying that midnight call. Fine. Not fine. Megan comes back Sunday night. She side-eyes me while unpacking her bag, then drops on the couch and goes. Okay, spill. You look like you just found out your cat is a lizard. And I just, let it all spill. Everything. Mom isn't my mom. My aunt is my bio mom. Family secrets like a lifetime drama. Megan just listens. Asks legit questions. Normal questions. Do I want to meet Elizabeth? How do I even know this is real? She asks if she should stay home for me. Sweet gesture. I say no. I don't want anyone pausing their life for my chaos spiral. Monday, I finally text Mom, we need to talk. She replies instantly. After dinner, I drive over. Car parked, staring at the door for 5 minutes. Everything feels smaller. Like the house is a set and I just noticed the cracks in the paint. Mom fusses, asking about tea, food, water. I just go, sit. Can we just sit? She's shaking, nervous. Hands trembling. She looks exhausted, like she's aged 10 years in a week. I ask the obvious, why tell me now? Why not just keep it buried forever? She says she was scared I'd hate her, or Elizabeth reaching out forced her hand. I push for details. Who is Tom? Why did Elizabeth leave me? Was she on drugs? Mom hesitates. Then drops the bomb. Tom was a manipulative nightmare. Isolated Elizabeth, convinced her family hated her, made her feel like the black sheep. Mom tried to warn her, but everything backfired. Parents gave up. And there I am, sitting, absorbing all this like my brain just signed up for a season finale of a show I never agreed to watch. Okay, so here's the next chapter in my life completely imploding. Turns out, when Elizabeth got pregnant, Tom bailed. And it wasn't some wild scandalous thing like drugs or partying, it was deep, dark depression. The kind nobody really knew how to help with back then, because mental health wasn't exactly dinner table conversation. Mom said it was terrifying, the kind that just swallows people whole. Then she dropped another bomb. Elizabeth? She'd always been jealous of Mom. Quietly, almost ashamed to admit it. But Mom spilled the little stuff. How Elizabeth copied her clothes, her handwriting, even how she did her hair. Apparently, Grandma, my grandmother, obviously, always compared them. Told Elizabeth she should be more like her perfect big sister. And then it clicked. When Mom took me in, Elizabeth didn't just see me as her niece, she saw me as her personal loss. Her life didn't go as planned. Mom was winning by default. And suddenly, my entire existence. Just the final round in some decades-long sister competition. I honestly didn't know how to respond. I asked if Mom ever considered telling me as a kid. She just stared at her hands and whispered, so many times, but I chickened out every single time. At that point, I lost it, not screaming, not yelling, just, emotionally collapsing a little. I told her flat out, do you even get how messed up this is? You decided everything for me, and now I don't even know who I am. Mom started crying again. I didn't say anything, just let it sit. After a few minutes, she wiped her face and finally told me what she'd been trying to say all along: Elizabeth wanted to meet me. She had emailed Mom, asked if she could reach out. And Elizabeth actually sent a letter, long, awkward, full of apologies. Mom hadn't read it herself, she just forwarded it to me. Thought it should come from Elizabeth directly. I stared at my phone. Subject line, just for you. I didn't open it. I just stared. I asked Mom what she expected me to do. She honestly didn't know. She said she'd support whatever I chose but hoped I'd at least read the letter. Apparently, Elizabeth had been carrying guilt for years. Which, yeah, sure, but that's her problem, not mine. I left soon after. Mom tried to hug me, but I stepped back. She let her arms drop. I could feel her hurt, but hell, I was hurt too. Got home. Megan, my roommate, is in the kitchen, hands me a bowl without asking questions. That's why I love her. We eat in silence, scroll through our phones, and for a few moments, it almost feels normal. Next morning, 6 texts from Mom. Are you okay? Love you. Thinking of you. I spent the day at the park just walking, headphones in, playlists on shuffle, trying not to think. Saw a mom and little girl laughing at a bench and nearly laughed myself, because it felt surreal. How do people just keep going? Megan keeps asking if I've read the email. I keep saying no. 3 days later, I cave. She's out. I pour a huge mug of tea, sit on the floor with my laptop, and open it. Letter is long, clumsy, dripping with apologies. Elizabeth writes how sorry she is, how she wished things were different, how she thought giving me up was right at the time. Talks about being scared to be a mom, watching my mom raise me from afar, cue creepy crawls in my skin. Says she's in therapy now, spent years rebuilding, wants to meet me if I'm willing, but understands if I'm not. And here's the kicker, she keeps saying, I hope you can forgive me. But never really explains why. Vague stuff about fear, feeling lost, overwhelmed. Nothing concrete. Ends with, I love you in my own way. My own way. Passive, distant, almost like an Amazon wishlist item you check off once in a while. Told Megan everything. She just nods. Yeah, that's a lot. She asks if I want to reply. Honestly? Don't know. Part of me wants to write a dissertation about how she can't just drop in now, expect gratitude. Another part wants to block her forever. But after thinking, I realize, I need to see her. Not for her. For me. I need answers. I need to see her, hear her, ask the questions no one else can answer. So I send a short reply. I got your letter. I have questions. I'll meet you, but I'm not promising anything. She replies within an hour. I wasn't expecting that speed. Suggests a downtown coffee shop, middle of the day, neutral, public. I agree but tell her I won't come alone. Megan offers to sit nearby. Yes. Mom finds out. Freaks out, not yelling, just panic under control. Are you sure? You don't have to do this. She's not who you think she is. She twists everything. She's unstable. I snapped. I'm not a kid. I can handle this. I need to do it for me, not anyone else. Mom goes quiet. Just promise you'll be careful. Okay. I don't think she believes me. Now. I'm sitting here, phone buzzing, everyone acting like I'm about to walk into a landmine. And maybe I am. But I need to know. Megan keeps telling me she's proud. Honestly, I just feel tired. Deeply tired. Tomorrow's the meeting. No clue what I'll say. No clue what Elizabeth looks like. Will I even recognize myself in her? I keep thinking about all the family photos without her in them. All the empty seats at holidays. And now, I get to fill one, or at least see who should have been there. Wish me luck. And if anyone's been through anything even remotely similar, I need all the survival tips. I feel like I'm improvising in a play I never auditioned for. I interrupted her, blurting out, "But you had my mom, you had family." Elizabeth started tearing up. She said it wasn't that simple, that she felt like a burden, that after Tom left, nobody looked at her the same. She told me my grandparents kept comparing her to Mom, kept saying she was the problem, and she just felt like she was drowning. I asked if she ever thought about coming back. She said she did, all the time. But every time she tried to call, she hung up before anyone answered. She watched from a distance, heard about birthdays and holidays, but never wanted to ruin things for me. I told her that's not how it works. You don't just disappear and act like you're protecting someone. You didn't even try. She started crying quietly, dabbing at her eyes with a napkin, and I just sat there. I wasn't going to comfort her, it didn't feel right. We went back and forth. She kept apologizing, saying she wished she could take it all back, that she'd gotten help, that she was different now. I told her that was great for her, but it didn't help me. I asked if she'd thought about how it felt for me, growing up feeling like I was always a little outside my own life, like something was missing. She said she thought about it constantly. Nightmares about me hating her, about never wanting to see her. I said, maybe that's just reality. At one point, she reached across the table like she wanted to touch my hand, but I pulled back. Not ready. I asked her what she really wanted from me. Did she want to be my mom now? Forgiveness? Closure? She admitted she honestly didn't know. She just wanted to know me, even if it was just once. Then my phone blew up, texts from Mom, a missed call from Grandma. I ignored them, but Megan texted, "Are you good?" I realized I'd been there for almost an hour. I told Elizabeth the first needed a break. She nodded. I stepped outside, called Megan, told her I was fine but needed 30 more minutes. She told me Mom was panicking. I hadn't even told her where I was going, I didn't want her trying to stop me. Back inside, Elizabeth was staring at her phone. I told her about the messages. She asked if I wanted to talk to my mom. I said I didn't even know what to call anyone anymore. Two moms. No moms. Both? She smiled sadly. I get that. I always felt like a daughter, but not really a daughter, too. Then she opened up more about Tom. Controlling. Cruel. Always putting her down, checking her phone, making her feel worthless. By the time I was born, she trusted no one, not even herself. Leaving me wasn't about love, it was because she thought I'd be better off with someone stronger. I said, "So, you just gave up?" She nodded, exhausted. Then she dropped a truth I wasn't expecting, she resented Mom for stepping in. Not because she didn't want me cared for, but because she felt she lost twice, once when Tom left, again seeing how happy I was with Mom. Every picture Grandma sent made her feel relief, and jealousy. She could never be the one raising me. I asked, "So, were you mad at me? Did you hate me for being happy?" She shook her head. Never hated me, but sometimes hated herself for not being enough. I didn't know if I felt sorry for her or just angry all over again. We just sat there staring at our drinks. The coffee shop started filling up. People glanced at us. Didn't care. Then my phone rang. Grandma. I picked up just to stop the buzzing. She immediately asked if I was safe, okay, needed a ride. I told her I was with Elizabeth. She sighed. I said, which mom? She went quiet. Then, just come for dinner tonight. We all need to talk. I told Elizabeth. She looked nervous, hadn't seen her parents in years, not since signing papers. She asked if I wanted her there. I wasn't sure, but maybe it was time for everyone to stop hiding. The last half hour before dinner was a blur. We talked about movies, music, foods we hate. She laughed when I admitted I still can't eat Brussels sprouts. Genetic, apparently. I saw little pieces of myself in her, it was weird. Finally, she stood, slung her bag over her shoulder, and said she hoped I'd call again. I said maybe. No hug, no tears, just gone. I got home. Mom was in the kitchen, red-eyed, puffy, waiting. I sat down. She asked if I was okay, if Elizabeth had said anything weird. I told her everything. Mom got defensive, said Elizabeth always plays the victim, blames others. I said, sounds like everyone in this family's been blaming everyone else forever. Maybe that's why I never knew the truth. Mom started arguing. I raised my hand. I'm not picking sides. I just want the truth. She said she tried her best, loved me, and if she could, she'd still choose me. I believed her, but didn't stop being angry. Megan came home quietly, put on headphones, went to her room. Later, texted from 10 feet away, ice cream? Or scream into a pillow? I sent back the skull emoji. Dinner at my grandparents'? Yep, went. Everyone there. Mom, Elizabeth, Grandma, Grandpa, Cousin Riley cracking awkward reunion jokes. Tension. Explosive. Grandma tried to act normal. Elizabeth barely spoke. Mom glaring. Grandpa silent. Finally, Grandma tried to start real conversation. Mom attacked first, Elizabeth had no right to show up now, stirring drama. Elizabeth fired back, she'd been pushed out, everyone expected her gone. I snapped. This isn't about either of you. It's about me. I've been lied to my whole life. I'm done being the reason you fight. Figure your stuff out without using me as an excuse. Silence. Grandma apologized for all the ways they'd failed me. Grandpa nodded. Mom cried. Elizabeth looked away. I left before dessert. Nobody stopped me. Back in my apartment. Megan asleep. Cat curled up. I feel, not better, exactly, but clearer. I don't know if I'll forgive either of them, or even want to. But I won't let them keep using me to fight old battles. Family group chat blowing up. People picking sides. Grandma sending, just love each other, memes. I'm just here hunting for a clean spoon. Honestly? For the first time in forever, it feels like it's actually up to me. Megan came into my room with a mug of coffee, sat on the edge of my bed like she was about to drop some tragic news. Instead, she just nudged me and said, "Your grandma's been calling too. You gonna answer?" I told her I didn't want to talk to anyone. She shrugged, said I should at least let people know I was alive. Finally, I texted Grandma, "I'm fine. Just need space. Love you." Immediately, she sent back 10 heart emojis and a paragraph about how family could heal if we tried. I stared at the ceiling for an hour. The day was weird. I went for a long walk, bought a donut, watched 2 kids chase a squirrel in the park. I realized I was just waiting for someone to show up, like Mom was going to appear out of nowhere and demand I come home. Nobody did. When I got back, Megan was making pasta and playing music. Almost felt normal again. She asked if I wanted to watch a movie. I said yes. We ate pasta straight out of the pot with forks, too lazy for dishes. First time in days I didn't feel like I might snap. But the next day, everything exploded. I woke up to a voicemail from Grandpa, wild because he never calls. His voice scratchy. Call me when you can. We need to talk. Felt sick. He sounded like he'd aged 10 years overnight. I called back that afternoon, half hoping he wouldn't pick up. He did. Long silence. Then, I'm sorry you had to find out this way. He kept apologizing. Said he should have stepped in, none of this was fair, to me, to Elizabeth, to Mom. Grandma struggling, Mom barely sleeping, Elizabeth had called him crying. I asked if he was mad at me. No. Never. Just sad. Families are like knots, he said, easy to tie, hard to untangle. I didn't know what to say. Just listened. Weird mix of guilt and annoyance, I was responsible for everyone's feelings again. Things got dramatic. I thought ignoring everyone would calm things, but nope. Family group chat turned into a war zone. Grandma begging for peace. Mom accusing Elizabeth of manipulation. Elizabeth saying she just wanted a chance to explain. Tracy chiming in with, let's take a breath. Grandpa sending links about forgiveness. Riley dropped a burning bridge meme and left the chat. I muted notifications and let it scroll. Then Mom showed up at my door. Knocked, I opened. She was clutching her keys so hard her knuckles were white. Megan hovered in the kitchen pretending to be busy. Mom came in, sat on the couch, coat on. She needed to talk. I said fine, but only if she was honest. She cried. Said she was scared, losing me, didn't know how to fix it. I said, it's not about fixing. It's about actually dealing with it. I'm done being the glue. She asked if I'd see Elizabeth again. I said I didn't know. She wanted to come along. I said no. She got sharp, said Elizabeth always ruins things, only reaching out because she wants something. I asked what that meant. She shook her head. I didn't understand Elizabeth, always making it about herself, needing attention, never satisfied. I said, maybe. But that's not my problem. She left. I stared at the dent in the carpet from her suitcase when she used to visit. Megan came in, handed me water, sat in silence. Hours later, Elizabeth texted. Sorry for the chaos. Never meant to blow up my life. Respect if I didn't want to see her. Leaving town in 2 days, but staying at a hotel in case I changed my mind. I didn't reply at first. Couldn't stop thinking about it. Called Grandma. Asked how she was. She sighed, said she was tired, glad I called, loved me no matter what. Said I should only meet Elizabeth if I wanted to, not for anyone else. Next day, groceries. Ran into Riley. Hugged me, apologized for the memes. Family losing it, Grandma crying, Grandpa barely talking, Tracy texting recipes like that was gonna fix anything. We talked about anything else while leaning on my car. Felt good. Back home, 3 missed calls from Mom. Ignored. That night, I decided to see Elizabeth one last time. Not for her, not for Mom. For me. Texted Megan, shared my location. Safety first. Ubered to the hotel, a sad little place near the highway. Waited in the lobby. Elizabeth came down. Tired. Older. Life drama had taken something out of her. We sat in the lounge. She asked if I wanted coffee. I shook my head. I said I had questions. Wanted real answers. She nodded. I asked bluntly, why come back now? Why not 20 years ago? Why not at graduation, or when grandma got sick, or any other time? She paused. Said she tried before. But mom shut her down. Told her I wasn't ready, it'd ruin my life, I was better off not knowing. She believed it, but realized she was scared. Scared I'd leave her behind. I asked if that was true. She said maybe. Mom was always the fixer, holding everything together. Losing me would be final proof she failed. I asked what she wanted from me. She didn't want money, forgiveness, or a forced relationship. Just to know me, see who I became, say sorry face to face. She admitted it was selfish, but she couldn't let it go anymore. I said I didn't know if I could forgive her. She nodded. Said she'd take what she could get. Asked if I wanted to stay in touch. I said maybe, on my terms. She agreed. No pushing. We talked for a while about nothing, favorite shows, her cat, best pizza. When I got up to leave, she stood. Might have hugged me, but didn't. Just hand on shoulder, take care of yourself. Back home. Mom waiting outside. Asked if I saw Elizabeth. Yes. Asked if I'd see her again. I said I didn't know. She cried, scared she'd lose me. I told her I wouldn't, but things had to change. No more peacemaker. Needed boundaries. She said she'd try. That was all I wanted. The next week, Grandma invited me over for dinner, just me and Grandpa. Favorite casserole. Talked about nothing. Grandpa gave me an old photo album, this is your story too. I flipped through birthdays, old Halloween costumes. For the first time, didn't feel like something was missing. Megan's been a rock. Bought new bath towels for fresh start energy, keeps reminding me to eat something green at least once a week. No neat ending where everyone hugs. Family's still a mess. People still mad. I'm still figuring it out. But for the first time, I feel like I actually get to decide what happens next. I'm not anyone's secret or pawn anymore. I won't let old drama define me. So that's it. If you made it this far, thanks for caring about some stranger's family chaos. You're not alone. Sometimes all you can do is keep going, and maybe, eventually, things settle, even if never perfectly. Anyway. I'm off to eat leftover pasta and ignore the group chat for at least 12 hours.